I've been using this first generation Jetta hub in my Tesla Model 3 for the better part of this year, and frankly, I just haven't noticed it, which is exactly the point. I've left my wireless charging pad connected to it with no issues there. I've kept my 500 gigabyte SSD plugged in and hidden in the inside compartment, again, with no issues. In fact, this is as much a fire and forget solution for USB clutter as I think you can come up with. I no longer have to worry about sorting through all my cables to get stuff out of that center console. Honestly, we mostly use it as a trash bin, but I don't have to dig through the cables to scoop the trash out at the end of the day, and I'm not getting trash all over my Tesla Cam or anything else that we have plugged into the USB ports. As part of developing a hub for the Model Y, Jetta developed this second generation hub for the Model 3. They sent this one to me, and I've been using this for the past couple months, again, pretty much forgetting that it was there. It adds one USB port to the front, obviously, but it also improves the circuitry inside of this case to manage all the power and data needs of all of those ports, including the extra one. Inside this case are electrostatic protection diodes, voltage leveling capacitors, and other components managed not just by one hub chip, but two hub chips. These all work together to give you extra ports to charge your devices, hidden storage for your Tesla Cam drive, all while protecting your Tesla and your devices. And here is exactly how they get that done. It's not surprising that outwardly both generations of USB hubs look pretty much exactly the same except for the number of ports, but the circuits on the inside are extremely different. Before I get to that, I just want to remind you what's on the inside of these hidden compartments. Pressing on the bottom edge allows you to lift up the panel that's held in place by magnets around the edges, and that reveals the hidden compartment for your drive. This is the 500 gig Samsung T5, and it's been super reliable for me. I can't even remember the last time I formatted it. I probably need to see how filled it is with different videos from beeping my horn, which I have set to auto-save, as well as the different Sentry Cam videos that I've gotten over the past year. But it's a very good size, and you just use one of these stick-on metal plates to allow it to stick to the rather large magnet on the other side of this. The inside has this nice bright red rubber pad. It gives you a high contrast with the stuff you have stored in the hidden compartment, so it's a lot easier to see when you're looking into your dark console trying to grab different things. And of course, there's a USB port right there. Getting at the printed circuit boards inside of these hubs is very easy, though there isn't a reason for you to do this as part of normal use. I'm just doing this so we can see how these work. Jetta did simplify their generational changes by keeping the rear half of the shell and the storage compartment doors exactly the same. The external dimensions of both are also the same, which is not surprising at all, but it's worth mentioning nonetheless. Since the printed circuit boards have to be the same basic dimensions, Jetta did have to design the Gen 2 PCBs from scratch and prototype to make sure they worked. They also have a version of these for the Model Y, as well as the newer Model 3s that have USB-C outputs in the console. So make sure you order the hub that matches your vehicle and its port configuration. The nice thing is that whatever you get, that hub will be optimized to use all of the power available to it from the ports in your Tesla. This is the circuit board from the first generation Jetta hub, and in my video on it, I actually went through and explained what all these different circuits do. But what I want you to focus on for this video is this one right here, that rectangle. It's an actual hub circuit. While these other circuits keep your devices in your Tesla safe, this device is what manages the power flow across these different ports into and out of this port. The second generation hub has two of these circuits. They're located on the bottom. This port from the Tesla is split between these two ports in the hub. This port from the Tesla is split between these 4 ports in the hub. And that's why it has two hub chips. This is not a splitter. This has components that not only protect your devices, protect your Tesla, but it has components that manage the power, manage the communication between these ports
and the ports that they share. This is why every single port is data capable. This is why all of your devices that you plug into these ports can be successfully managed to the maximum output that's available from your Tesla. This hub chip manages these 3 ports. This hub chip manages these 4 ports. If you use only one of the ports, the hub chip is going to send all of the voltage to that port, minus a little voltage loss that's used in running the chip itself. If you use 2 of the ports, it's not just going to arbitrarily split the voltage 50-50, it's going to sense what the needs are of each of the devices that you have plugged in, and it will apportion the voltage accordingly. What this means is not only is your Tesla protected, not only are your devices protected from any errant voltage spikes or fluctuations, but they're always going to get the right amount of voltage based upon what you have available from the port in the Tesla. Now, these hub chips can't alter physics. They can't get you more total voltage across the external ports than can be supplied by the Tesla port. But they're going to give you the best solution possible, one that can't be provided just by a series of splitters, which is what this printed circuit board, it's actually 2 printed circuit boards that came out of the Taptis hub that I bought earlier this summer is. It's just basically a series of splitters printed on a circuit board. And pull this apart. You can see there are no hub chips. There's no power management whatsoever. It also lacks the vast majority of the protective circuits that Jetta provides in their hub. That's why this costs a lot less than the Jetta hub. You're getting less. The outside might look the same, but the function on the inside is quite different. You're not getting the same level of protection for your Tesla and your devices, and you're not getting smart management of the voltage across the ports. When you open the console up, it looks like Tesla actually designed this with more in mind. They just never finished the job. That's where Jetta came in and created the hub that fits exactly there. I found the easiest way to install this is to have the drive already in place and the door off. Gives you something to hold on to, and you get your charging cables out of the way, slide it back and in like that, and then you kind of have to wiggle around until you find the ports there, and then that goes in. And then we're going to replace the front cover. And that looks like a factory installation. Now, in order to maximize the charging of whatever charging solution you have, you need to plug these into ports that aren't necessarily intuitive. One goes in there or there, and then the other will plug in here. You can do that, that's equivalent. That's because these 2 ports are shared, and then these 3 ports are shared along with the data port that's inside the hidden compartment for your Tesla Cam drive. This way you're going to make sure that the phones that are charging at the end of these connectors are going to get the maximum amount of voltage that you can deliver from either one of those hubs. If you did this, what would end up happening is, as you were charging with one phone, everything would be exactly the same. But when you started charging 2 phones, they would be sharing the power from the leftmost port. This way, if you're charging 2 phones and you're not using any of the other ports for other devices, this phone is going to get all of the power available from the left side of the Tesla console, and this phone will get all of the power available from the right side of the console. One bit of advice when unplugging things from these ports, it's possible that there's enough friction in the cable that you end up unplugging the hub from the ports in the Tesla. So always be sure to snug it back down anytime you unplug anything. The big cost to not noticing that you did that is it unplugs your Tesla Cam drive, which means that your Sentry Cam, your Tesla Cam when you're driving don't work anymore. So I think it's really prudent to make sure that anytime you unplug anything, you actually give this a good snug back in place. I actually didn't have a need for the USB-C ports that were in the original hub, and I'm not going to be using them in this one, but it's actually a good thing that they added that USB-A port, because I've been having to use this adapter to plug my controller into the USB-C ports of the original hub, but now I'll be able to just do that and my controller is going to work. As I already said, there's nothing magic about the Jetta hub that allows it to provide more power to your devices than the Tesla can provide at the outputs that are in a console. This being a Model 3 with USB-A ports means that you're not going to get more than USB-A port amount of power shared across all of these ports, whether it's a USB-A port or a USB-C port. So that means any device that requires true USB-C standards of charging aren't going to get that from this hub, but that's because those ports aren't getting it from the Tesla. And look how clean that is now. That looks factory. That's nice and organized. Now I've got all that room for my garbage.
To me, the main benefit of having a Jetta hub is to clean up the mess that my console used to be with splitters and drives just all looped around in a pile. If you have this Jetta hub, I don't see a compelling reason to upgrade to this Jetta hub. But if you've got a competing hub that you're not happy with the performance, or you're starting from scratch, I think this Gen 2 Jetta hub will make you happy. I think you get a lot for $79. You get the organization, you get the hidden drive storage, you get a very factory look. Best of all, you're getting circuitry designed to protect your electronic devices, to protect the electronics of your Tesla. And that's a real head scratcher to me, that people would try to save tens of dollars on a copycat of this that has no such protective circuitry, when they're plugging in hundreds of dollars of electronic devices in the front, and they're plugging it into a $50-some thousand electronic device on wheels. If you're interested in getting a Jetta hub for your Model 3 or your Model Y, using the link in the video description to do so will help out the channel. I also have it pinned in the comments. Be sure to subscribe so you see more videos on accessories like the Gen 2 Jetta hub. I really appreciate you watching The Tech of Tech, and I hope to see you next time.